Welcome back. This is Breakfast at Dawn. Now, one of our followers, Faria K, on Twitter suggested that we analyze what kind of toll frequent power breakdowns take on our emotional being. What brings us to the point that we take to the streets and resort to violence? What exactly makes a mob? Dr. Rubina Feroz is a psychologist, and she is here live in our Karachi studio to talk about just that. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast at Dawn. Tell me, by the way, have you been a victim of power breakdowns?
Who isn't?
Yeah.
Everybody has been.
And when just now, when the rains happened, how long did you lose power for?
Well, luckily, our apartment block has a standby generator, so I did not suffer as such. But I knew and I could foresee, and of course, the generator was also shut down when there was a 36-hour power breakdown.
Right.
So that led to a lot of frustration in the whole area. I could see around me darkness everywhere, and although being in such a privileged position, you are aware that things are happening which are really insufferable for most of the population.
Rubina, I want to read out a couple of comments to you. Actually, I'll start with this one from Uwais Iqbal. It's come in on Twitter saying people started getting out of their houses once they started running out of water too at home. So people were really, you know, I mean, obviously, I don't condone violent protest, but, you know, when nobody listens to you, yeah. So what do you think, what kind of impact? First of all, let's just talk about it in a milder fashion. What kind of impact does it have to have these constant power breakdowns on us?
Actually, it frustrates people around us. There is this question in their mind as to when is it all going to end? Is there an end when the power... as soon as the electricity goes off, the first question is, when is it going to be back? Is it going to be back in an hour, 2 hours? And that, I think, leads to a lot of apprehension in people, a lot of anxiety in people. And the first statement that they make to themselves is, oh my God, not again.
Yeah.
Because what has been happening in Karachi is that the electric, and I'm sure all over the country, that the electricity has been coming for 1 hour and then going back for 3 hours. So you never know. You're not in a predictable situation. That increases the apprehension.
And don't you think also that, you know, people, the people you are meant to rely on the most, your government, when you constantly keep questioning them and keep being disappointed by them, that must somehow reflect on how you think of yourself as a Pakistani.
Exactly. And the first thing that you rely on is the system, as we call it. We believe that the system should continue to function, should be predictable. It doesn't happen that way anymore. So you stop relying on it, you stop believing in it, and a time comes, well, some affluent people can purchase generators, USBs, etc., etc. They try to make do with whatever they have, but that's not what a government is about. The government is supposed to bring these amenities to people, and as Uwais, I believe, just said, that you also start losing, you don't have any water in your home. So what do? You lose the basic things that we have, that we totally take for granted. I don't think any Pakistani takes it for granted anymore, but once that happens, then it leads to anxiety, and it leads to what can you rely on.
Right. And one of the things that I saw at the time was that, you know, a lot of people who sent in comments, certainly to us, said that, okay, fine, protest is a good thing, come out on the streets, but why do you have to resort to this kind of mob violence? So I want you to explain to us what brings people, what makes a mob?
Well, a mob is made, usually it is made by 1 or 2 people. In fact, there are 1 or 2 people who start being aggravated, showing their frustration in a certain way, and the people around them then rationalize that this is the way only that we can come across, or we can get across to the government, or get across to the authorities. And then there are, of course, the people who are just having fun. When you watch these visuals, you might always see some people laughing around, and you really can make out that it's, you know, they're not angry at what's happening. They're just having fun, burning tires, etc. So there are a lot of factors which contribute to this mob psychology. Okay, but it definitely occurs when you do not find a rational way to find a solution. If you have a rational way, if you can write letters, for example, or if you can hold placards, as it is done in the West, and somebody notices, maybe people have tried that, nobody notices. But frankly, my point is that when you burn tires, then also nobody notices. When you burn buses, you are the one who lose the basic, your again basic facilities. Again, the government or the system doesn't notice. Nothing happens. They just, frankly, even this apathy has set in people so much that we realize that even this is not going to lead to any solution. So it just gets aggravated, and the violence just gets worse and worse and worse. And unfortunately, we should be prepared for more violence if this continues.
Right. Thank you so much, Rubina, for talking to us about all of this. As for us, if you have any comments for us, you can always write them in on breakfast@dawnnews.tv. We do love to hear from you. And keep in mind that you can always watch us live on the internet on dawn.com. Today, the website's experiencing a bit of difficulty, but hopefully that'll all be sorted very soon. That's it from me, Naveen Naqvi, and the rest of the Breakfast at Dawn team. We will see you right here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Have a fabulous day.